Happy New Year to you all. We're off to a rip-roaring start, but we're here. Uh, Call to order this January 2026 meeting of the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission. As always, honored to serve my role as chair. Uh, Moving quickly with our agenda, I will acknowledge those commissioners that are on with us right now. So, Commissioner Millen, good morning. Commissioner Snowden, good morning. Commissioner Haley, good morning. Commissioner Hughes, good morning. Commissioner Barnes, good morning. Commissioner Baker, good morning. Commissioner Davis, good morning. Commissioner Armenti, good morning. Commissioner Coles, good morning. Commissioner Dupree Wilson, good morning. And Commissioner Creary, good morning. Also to our staff, good morning to you all. So I see Sophie is on, Emily as well. Thank you for holding it down, Kristen, and Arusha. So thank you all for being here. Moving along with our agenda, we will have the review and approval of the minutes from last month's meeting. So hopefully commissioners have had a chance to review the minutes. At this time, let me know if there are any edits that are needed. And if not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Millen. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Haley. Thank you, Commissioner Creary. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And whatever the case, whatever your affidavit is. All right. Any opposed? Anyone abstain? All right, motion carries. The minutes are accepted as presented. Thank you all for that. So moving along with the agenda, my comments are as such. Happy New Year. We are here. We are in the advocacy phase of the commission's work, and it is off to a very encouraging start. So once the report was released, we certainly got interest from various media outlets, probably most notably the Washington Post. Ms. Erin Cox, give her props for the article that she put together on the commission. I thought it was well done, very extensive. I'm glad that members of the commission were represented and their thoughts were reflected in that piece. It definitely generated interest from state leaders. So most notably State Comptroller Brooke Learman, who we will meet with next month to provide a debriefing on the final report and what next steps could be taken potentially through her office. We will also say, because it happened, believe it or not, Commissioner Creary, Vice Chair Tavis, and I had an interview with Fox News Digital. And fortunately, it was not a hot mess. We did our job. We stuck to making sure that the important points of the commission and its final report were conveyed. And to the credit of the reporter, it was cordial. So we are getting interest from all aspects of media, as well as, again, state leaders. And that is exactly what we wanted. So I'm thankful to you all for stepping up when those opportunities arise for us to tell this story and to share our truth. People are listening, and so we are grateful for that. The work will continue. For those that aren't aware, begins on Wednesday, which also happens to be my birthday, turning 39. Woo! Random number. So we will have the opportunity to continue to speak with legislators, to inform them of the final report, to continue to advocate for the recommendations, including legislation, which Commissioner Creary and Commissioner Coles will talk about later in this meeting. So I will stop talking there, make space for fellow commissioners to share any thoughts or feelings that they have at this time for our soul check. So if there's anything that a commissioner would like to offer to the group at this time, please feel free. All right, hearing none, seeing none, then we will move on. Quickly want to acknowledge Commissioner Parker, who has joined us. I believe PAX Foundation is Vice Chair Chavis. You can please confirm. I believe that's him. But nevertheless, thank you for being here. We will move on to recognizing the public. So as always, thank you for being a part of this journey. Many of you from the very beginning, some of you jumping on at various points in this story, but nevertheless, we are grateful for the accountability that you have exuded with us, and just again knowing that this story exists. To any members of the public who are here, please feel free to introduce yourself. You can give your name and any affiliations that are relevant and resonant in the chat at this time. And as we continue with our agenda, we will move on to committee updates. I presume most of them will exist within reconciliation, so we can make space for that, focusing, I know, primarily on the recommendations, the final report, and the legislation that is being crafted. So Commissioner Millen, Commissioner Coles, and Commissioner Creary on the phone. I will make space for that right now.
All right, Commissioners Creary or Cole, do you want to go first, or do you want me to talk logistics first?
Why don't you start with logistics? We can talk about the briefings.
Okay.
And then get the legislation.
All right. So this Wednesday, we're holding a virtual briefing. Wednesday, January 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll last about 1 hour. It'll be a webinar format to allow up to 300 individuals to attend. We did a first round of invites to make sure that those folks who participated, I guess an invite or is not quite the right word, but announcement to those who testified and or helped with research and hearing logistics. We're able to get an early notice. It is being published on the MLTRC's website today. It's on the MLMP website, and the MLMP will send an email blast around 4:30 this afternoon. We have just shy of 60 people registered so far. You have to register in order to get a Zoom link or webinar link. I'm finishing up the run of show, and I think that might be it for logistics. So Commissioner Creary or Coles?
Yeah, I guess, also working on trying to get a briefing with members of the Legislative Black Caucus and other caucuses. I got a call, I guess it was Saturday night, from the speaker. It's about 11 o'clock your time, so she's literally burning the midnight oil. But she suggested, getting in touch with Delegate White Holland and Senator Sidner to see if we can arrange a briefing with the members of the General Assembly. That is still very much in process, and when and if we have movement on that front, I will certainly let everybody know.
So, Commissioner Creary, I can provide an update on that. I did reach out to Delegate White Holland last night and express our interest in doing a debriefing with her. She is interested in that, as well as exploring the legislation that you and Commissioner Coles have primarily been crafting. So we're looking to just see what accommodates her schedule. She did say that sooner would be better than later, since session will be starting soon and things are relatively chill at the beginning. So you're on the emails. Just let us know your availability and we will see what works best for the delegate.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. That will help. I'm on the road, so I haven't had a chance to look at my email yet, but I will definitely look at it and follow up and make sure that we get something moving.
Awesome.
Quick question, David. Is that meeting with the senator, or are they looking for in-person or virtual?
Haven't gotten to that point just yet. I will see what works best for Delegate White Holland. We just wanted to see if she would be open to the meeting, and fortunately she is. I'm hoping it'll be hybrid, much like the meeting with State Comptroller Learman, but we'll see. I will see what works for her. I'm certainly willing to join in person if that will be helpful. Others in person, please feel free. But I think the virtual will definitely be the likelihood for sure. And if she's willing to entertain some attend this in person, then we'll see.
That sounds great. Thanks for making that connection.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Commissioner Armenti, I see your hand.
So are we looking to continue to build connections with other media outlets, or are we kind of good with where the level is based on where we are in our process? Because I have somebody who's been working with us here, who now has I don't know if we would call it a column, but she'll have a regular contribution to the Baltimore Times. So I'm happy to share that information or make some sort of introduction. But that's Dr. Rashim, who some of us in the Baltimore area might also know through some of that other work. But I think that would be a good recommendation if we're still looking to build out that way.
So yeah, I would say, Commissioner Armenti, please feel free to make that connection. We're happy to continue speaking with members of the media who are interested in the work. We're certainly grateful again for the coverage of the Washington Post. That was pretty big, right? And that got our word out there quite a bit. I'll be curious to see what happens on the Fox News digital tip. Not holding my breath, but it's so yes, we want to continue to make our story available to people. I think particularly in the state of Maryland, particularly the city of Baltimore. So yes, with the Baltimore Times, the Afro. So bringing up Vice Chair Chavis, I'm still thinking that's him. His comment. Yeah, we want to speak to the Black press. Anyone who's interested in learning more about this story. I did talk to one of my colleagues who's a reporter at the Baltimore Banner, just providing an update on what the commission has been doing. So yes, continue to spread the net wherever you are. Anyone who's interested in learning more and willing to provide some coverage of this, yeah, let's continue to maintain that. So thank you for that. Commissioner Barnes, I see your hand.
Yes, because I don't have a subscription to the Post or actually any of those that you named, is it possible that someone who does can print them out and then send us a hard copy or a PDF so that we can
Yeah,
read what's being said? And then of course that would also be a good record for us. Maybe it could be put on our website as a tab for coverage, or just maybe they're all linked together as one PDF or something.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, that we want to keep track of any coverage. I'm trying to see if the one well, I had the link because the reporter sent me the link, so I can, and I think I have access through one of my universities. So yeah, I'll certainly download a copy of it. We can share it with commissioners who haven't seen it already, and then anything that we can link to the website would definitely be ideal.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so Emily is confirmed that they are being collected and put on the website. So always look to the commission website for any coverage. As you can imagine, a lot of it has, I'll give you spoilers. A lot of it has focused on the reparations. A lot of them will have $100,000 in the title. But the one from the Washington Post is pretty extensive. So I would say if I were to put a ranking on it, that would be the top article so far about what we have done. Commissioner Coles, I see you here.
Yes, I just wanted to flag that the Afro will have a reporter attending the virtual briefing on Wednesday. So just as a heads up, so everyone's aware that there will be media on that call.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. All right. Anything else? Well, we still want to talk about the legislation. So Commissioner Coles, Commissioner Creary, are you ready to dive into that?
Yeah, I guess I can get us started. Basically, sort of, at this point, it's taken a lot more time and energy than I anticipated, but basically taking, direction from then delegate, now Speaker Pena Melnick, to make sure that whatever we introduce does not have fiscal notes on it. I went through the 84 recommendations and pulled out the ones that didn't have any money attached to it, and basically spun those into draft bills. The only one that technically would have, was of course B1, which was recommending, up to $100,000 monetary compensation to the families of the victims. So anyway, broke it down into 13 different bills, sent it to the Attorney General's office. They ran it through their AI, and on 21 pages of text, got about 200 some pages of feedback. So Commissioner Coles and I have gone through all 13 bills, gone through all 220 some pages, and have edited and addressed the concerns that came up. And actually, there are some really good ideas. And so everybody on the commission has a link to the Google Doc that has it all there, all 13 documents, all 13 bills. So if you want to take a look at them and comment, please do so, because this is all the stuff that we're going to be pushing to have the legislature pass. And these would be, I guess, the first iteration of recommendations being turned into legislation. So in other words, trying to enact the things that after all 6 years of study and listening and doing all of this stuff at the hearings, getting it into the final report, now turning it into legislation and pushing so that we can get this stuff passed. So I'll stop there. Commissioner Coles, I'm sure you have thoughts as well.
Yes, thank you, Nick, and again, thank you for taking the lion's share of that effort in drafting these bills. I just want to comment on like a strategic point. I spoke to a law school friend of mine who's a delegate who hasn't been involved in our work, but I just kind of wanted to talk to her about her thoughts on how to best reach delegates and get legislation moved forward. And I just want to share something she shared with me is from a timeline perspective. She said a lot of the delegates work on the legislation that they plan to introduce over their break. And by December, they have kind of already solidified which bills they want to introduce. And then as Chris Haley found out for us, the deadline for submitting legislation for consideration in both the House and the Senate is like early February. And so we're working with a really short window. And I don't say that to slow down our momentum. I think we need to continue to use every day and every week we have to push this thing forward. But I think we should also keep in mind that even though our commission does dissolve next summer, it's quite possible that this season is going to end up being familiarizing people with our work and getting people to invest in it and support it. And we may not see any legislation actually get voted on until 2027, was just something that she told me she thought would be more likely given where things are right now. So I just wanted to put that out there as food for thought for everyone.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Coles, and Commissioner Davis. I see your hand.
Yeah, I just have a question for clarity. Like, I know Commissioner Cole said we dissolve in the summer. Is that summer 26 or summer 27? I just want to get clarity on like what our timeline looks like in terms of completing the work.
Yeah, so we officially sunset on June 30th of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll take these last 6 months to continue to advocate, to build the relationships with state leaders, and again, familiarize them with our work, with the report, with the recommendations. And we'll also have to, and because this thing will happen, we will also have to decide who will be the representative from the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission on the Reparations Commission. The way that bill was written, one of us has to be on that commission. So I want people to see the Reparations Commission as the continuation of our lineage. And so what I won't say whatever we don't get done then will get done through the Reparations Commission, but there will be things that are carried over, I think, quite implicitly and explicitly from us to that commission, if for no other reason than one of us will be on it. So I think it's good to be comfortable with that timeline. We know that, again, the $1+ billion deficit that Maryland is dealing with, that's going to be the major topic of conversation along with other things. I'm guessing many of you saw the article in the Baltimore Banner about House Speaker Pena Melnick and what she's doing. So she certainly has her agenda. We know that, we're in there in essence, in spirit. So we fortunately will have time, even if it's not under the auspices of this commission per se. The relationships that we have built and continue to build will allow us to continue to advocate for this work one way or another. So yeah, let's be mindful of the timeline. Let's be realistic, but also remain optimistic and hopeful. So very quickly, going back to the legislation itself, Commissioner Creary, is there anything that you really want us to look out for or be mindful of when we review the language?
I don't know that anything, well, yeah, I mean, I would say as you look at it, because again, this stuff is still very much, fluid. If you've got ideas or if you see things or flaws or, red flags going up as you look. Okay, yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the comments that we got, in some instances were saying, this is problematic, or this is just sort of wishful thinking. What you need is, how are you going to implement this? How are you going to do this? And so again, trying to find ways to take that feedback and put it in the structure of the actual frame of the legislation. I found it a bit challenging, but hopefully it all makes sense. And so if you've got a sense of this, or if you can kind of help say, well, this is a good idea, or have you thought about this? We still have, I guess, some flexibility to kind of change things still. So again, if you've got ideas, or if you have concerns, or if there are things in there that catch your attention, please let us know. The other thing is, this is just the first round of it. If you take a look at that, I put together a 5-year timeline so that we could try to get all 84 done. I mean, we're not going to be able to get all of them done in a single year. Mm-hmm. So if there were things in the final report and recommendations that you were really excited about, but you don't see in the bills currently, that's because we're going with the ones that don't cost anything, or that we wrote in such a way that we don't have to attach a fiscal note.
Is that with the exception of the reparations bill? Because that one is included, right?
Yeah, that one's included, but here again, wrote it so that we just say, it's like the General Assembly is going to have to do a fiscal analysis to figure out how much they want to appropriate this for this. And I put that in on every bill just to make sure that, people are going to say, well, hey, how much is this going to cost? I'm like, I don't know. We're not the ones to figure out how much that is. That is for the General Assembly to do the fiscal analysis.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for that, Commissioner Creary. That helps a lot.
You got the numbers like the $100,000, number in there, but the General Assembly is going to have to figure out how much they want to appropriate for that.
Mm-hmm. No, sounds good. Appreciate that context. Any questions, any thoughts or reflections on how we should look at the legislation that's being crafted? All right, hearing none, seeing none. Sophie, I see you.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to, I guess, emphasize the most important part should be securing bill sponsors in terms of actually finessing the language of the bill and the fiscal impact statement. Once there is a bill sponsor, then they'll work with the Department of Legislative Services. They'll work on drafting the bill. They'll get it ready to be introduced. And then the Department of Legislative Services does the fiscal note. And I was going to send an email saying this, but I could also say it in the meeting. But essentially what they do is they will contact every state agency that may be impacted by the legislation, and they will have those state agencies draft a fiscal note. They'll also look at databases, other interested parties, their own experience, and then they take all of that information and they compile it into one large fiscal note that is attached to every bill. So I wouldn't worry so much about the fiscal impact or coming up with numbers because there's already a process in place. But if there is no sponsor, then the bill just doesn't get introduced. So that should be the focus, is getting the sponsors, and then they'll get the language and the fiscal note and they'll do that. But it has to have a sponsor first.
Right. No, thank you for that, Sophie. So in that regard, we will have a meeting with Delegate Jennifer White Holland, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So Nick, would it be possible for you and Commissioner Coles to perhaps highlight maybe a handful of bills that we can propose to her for potential sponsorship?
I suppose we could. And here again, I just think, what are the priorities, that we want to have? I mean, on principle, I'd like to see, the apology, happen. And again, I'm just thinking, Commissioner Coles put a lot of time in those criminal justice reform bills. That's going to be easily about half of them. So I don't know. But yeah, I think I was planning on trying to get an email out and some calls in today just to see if maybe by Wednesday we might be able to actually speak, try to set something up. But yes, I mean, if we can get a meeting with her sooner than later, I would be happy to have that conversation.
Okay, well, and that's what we're definitely working on for sure. And so before I say anything else, Commissioner Baker, I see your hand.
And I apologize if you were going to say this, but I'm just curious, do we need to do some brainstorming of other potential bill sponsors, assuming that she might not want to take or might not have the capacity to take on all of those bills? Or are we using her as a point of contact to think through other potential bill sponsors?
So I would say I wouldn't be surprised if Delegate White Holland would take on some of these bills. She was the sponsor for the bill that extended us. So she's already in our corner in that regard. So I think it's just a matter of how many bills and which bills she would be most comfortable taking on. We don't want to jump the gun in that regard, but I think it would help to have a menu, so to speak, of bills that could be attainable. It'd be nice to have something on the board this year. I'll put it that way. If we can get a few bills that are introduced this year, right after we've done our final report, that would be a good look and I think great progress to what we want over the next few years. So given, again, the context of the deficit and a whole bunch of other stuff, following the House Speaker's advice, to me, the symbolic reparations make a lot of sense. The formal apology makes sense. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Even some of the criminal justice ones, if we can start with whatever Commissioner Coles feels like is the best on-ramp to the deeper reform that we're looking for, I think that would be a good way to go about it. In addition, we can certainly do our diligence in exploring and approaching other state leaders that might be willing sponsors of these bills. Yeah, I don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, but we're going to start with the with the delegate who's willing to listen to us and give consideration to sponsorship.
It may also be helpful to approach delegates or members from the different standing committees. They are broken up by subject matter. So for example, if there is a bill that deals with education, then maybe approaching delegates from the different caucuses that are part of like the education committee. I mean, I know they have like health and government, there's your judiciary, there's appropriations, there's ways and means. Because it doesn't seem likely that one delegate would sponsor all 13 or one senator would sponsor all 13. But I think a more targeted approach may also be helpful for getting sponsors.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Sophie. So one of the things that I suggest as people review the legislation, if it is in your area of interest or in your area of expertise, if you can flag that, if you want to send us a note or put a comment to say, I feel comfortable talking about this particular bill. I know people within this space, willing to be a primary champion, so to speak, or one of the champions for that particular bill. It would be very helpful if you would make a note of that. So as we do move forward, we can be more targeted and strategic with the committees that we look to and the legislators that we look to, and already have a primary point of contact within our commission regarding those bills. So again, take a look at the legislation. Please make comments and feedback, but also note if you would feel comfortable being a primary advocate of that bill. Commissioner Baker, do you still have a comment, a thought that you want to share?
No, thank you.
Okay, no worries. Any other thoughts, reflections, questions about the legislation? All right, hearing none, seeing none. Any other new business that we want to discuss? All right, hearing none, seeing none. Moving quickly through our agenda, I think we are at this point at any announcements. Are there any announcements that commissioners would like to share? Members of the public, if you have an announcement, can you please put that in the chat? But commissioners can share their announcements out loud. Any announcements? Commissioner Haley, I see you.
This is just on behalf of Commissioner Snowden. He's not here. The MLK dinner is happening soon. I don't have my new calendar here, but he's been sending out prompts for persons to attend. It's always a huge social and political event within Maryland. I know Governor Moore is slated to be there. Will be awarded among many other community advocates and activists as well. So I just want to put that on in his behalf.
Okay, no, thank you for that, Commissioner Haley. Appreciate you. Any other announcements?
Hi, sorry, I raised my hand and then put it down. This is Lindsay. I just wanted to share that Maryland Humanities is working on planning a Humanities Day in Annapolis. As far as I know, we've never done this, but we really want to highlight our grantees as well as our partners. And we are hoping for early March, late February before the crossover date. So if we do get movement on these bills, I would love to have some representatives from the commission there to talk to elected officials if it would be useful. And also we'll be welcoming everyone from the commission to join as a participant that day once we have the details nailed down.
All right, thank you for that, Commissioner Baker. Appreciate you. Commissioner Armenti, I see your hand. Oh, you're muted.
So the Wednesday event, the virtual briefing this Wednesday, I just looked back on the invite document. Does it need a specific invite from MLTRC for somebody to participate, or is this public, so to speak? Because it says if we have somebody else to invite to circle back and have them get a specific invite.
Yeah, it is now open to the public. So you can
Okay.
send them the link to register. You don't need to go through anybody at this point.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Right.
And to clarify, just to restate, there will be media press there and it will be recorded.
All right. Thank you for that question. Thank you for that clarification. Commissioner Davis, I see your hand.
Hi, David. I just wanted to share on behalf of the PGC LMP. They are having a racial justice essay and creative arts contest for students in grades 9 to 12, and I think they're giving out a scholarships totaling $5,000. So just want to highlight that group. And unfortunately, I won't be able to attend Wednesday's press briefing. I have a family funeral that day, so just want to let the group know.
No, thank you for letting us know. Peace be upon you and your family.
Thank you.
If you have a link to the information about that contest, if you can please share that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Commissioner Haley, I see a question in the chat. Who is responsible for recording the event on Wednesday? He is sure that he forgot.
I will be doing, MLMP is the webinar host. So MLMP will record it and then forward it to the MSA.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. Commissioner Coles, I see your hand.
Yes, I was just going to say, I think there may be a conflict for a few commissioners with the scheduled February meeting for a convening Dr. Joanne Braxton is putting together on reparations. And so I just wanted to flag that if, just as a possible quorum issue.
Thank you for that, Michelle. You're correct.
Yeah, she invited me too. Yeah, okay. So it seems like a few of us might be going there. So if that is the case, the following Monday is President's Day, so we'll avoid that one. The following one on February is the 23rd. So I would be unavailable for that one, but that's fine. We still have quorum, I hope. Are we okay with moving it to the? So I guess the question is, how many MLTRC representatives are planning to go to the reparations convening?
I'll be there.
Is it 4 of us at this point?
I think it's 4.
4 of us.
Commissioner Coles, Commissioner Davis, Commissioner me, Commissioner you.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who else got an invite. She
just she did. I do know because we're hosting at Riversdale. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
There. But I know it's a closed invitation. There's no more than 30 people. So I don't want to extend her invitation if that's not what she intends. And I know because space is an issue. So I don't have to have a seat, but we are the host site.
Gotcha. So we could still have it on the 9th. We would just need to make sure, obviously, we have quorum and emphasize that there will be some commissioners that aren't available that day. So we're really going to need good attendance, which we've had for the past few months. So I will honor that. So I think for right now, let's stick with the 9th. I'll send a reminder sooner than I usually do with meetings. I'll make a note to send one maybe a week ahead of time to just to confirm that we'll have enough commissioners for the 9th, and we'll take it from there. And hopefully we'll have quorum, even though a few of us will be out. Other than that, it would be either having it on the 2nd, which is 3 weeks from now, or having it pretty much at the end of February, which is the 23rd.
Is switching to the 10th a possibility?
Not for me.
Okay.
But again, I'm just one person. Don't do it based on me.
Okay.
If that would work for people, fine. I'm not opposed to it. I just won't. It's Black History Month. Everybody wants to be black in February, at least for the time being. So I take advantage of that.
That's fine. We'll just try to make the 9th work.
Yeah. So again, I'll send out and I'll just ask commissioners and people who watch the recording. Please let us know if for any reason you cannot be available on the 9th, because then we would have to make a call as to whether or not we will still hold it on the 9th. If it looks like we would not have quorum, then that would leave us to, sticking to a Monday. We would move it to the 23rd because again, the 16th is President's Day. So that's pretty much our options for February. We'll stick with the 9th for now, but if there's any indication we won't have quorum, we're going to shift to the 23rd. So if people have, potential conflicts, let me know now. But that's the course of action we'll take. Any other announcements? Any other final thoughts before we adjourn? So I will read Dr. Michelle Gevert's comment. Congratulations, commissioners, on having a final report, and all the honor to you for continuing this essential work with a focus on advocacy, raising awareness, and the literal creation of bills and strategic action / networking to increase the chances of having each recommended implemented. Thank you for that. Thank you, Dr. Gevert, for all the work that you've done with the commission. Full disclosure, Dr. Gevert, Dr. David Carey, and I are working on a paper around the class that we did between Morgan and Loyola that centered the commission. So the legacy will continue in many ways, which I'm very grateful for. And with that, Commissioner Armenti, I see your hand.
Just noting that with next Monday being Martin Luther King Day, I didn't know if anybody had any events or anything that the commission should be aware about or bolster with our communities. So I just wanted to put that question out there in case there was anything else worth sharing related to that.
No, thank you for that. So if people do have MLK Day programming that they want to share and talk about, please do so. Again, you can email us as well so we can make that aware to commissioners. Commissioner Davis, I see your hand.
David, and I hate to even switch at all, but we don't have an MLK event this year because we're actually closed as a museum. But with this being America 250, all of our sites are doing different things in terms of commemorating the 250th. I think MLK is a great tie-in to building on diversity and like museums, library, archives. And so our tours, along with our sister sites in the Prince George's County Department of Parks and Recreation, our tours and things like that are free for a year. And we have passports at all of our sites. And maybe when we get together in person, I could bring some of the passports so that people can share, because it's really important to think about like access. And I think that's one of the huge things in terms of messaging related to MLK Day and like who gets their story told, whose voices are being uplifted, and things like that. And so just wanted to share that with the group. So thank you, David Armenti, for bringing that up as a topic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Very quickly, I'll say that we are working on an event scheduled for early March. It's looking like either Tuesday, March 3rd or March 10th. This is an event that would be done in conjunction with the Chloe Center at Johns Hopkins University. It is designed to center not only the MLTRC and its final report, but also to center the investigation. Many of you may know of Andrea Conti, who's been connected with us over the past few months into the conspiracy around Marshall Eddie Conway and the Black Panthers in Baltimore. So that is still ongoing. It is scheduled to be at the Lovely Lane Church in Baltimore. We're hoping to have students from the joint class that Dr. Gevert, Dr. Carey, and I involved in some way. If there are commissioners who are interested in being involved to talk about the commission, the final report, you can let me know, and I will continue to share details as they are developed. With that, any other announcements? Final thoughts? All right. Well, hearing none, seeing none, I thank you all for being here. Again, as we continue to drive our advocacy, just remain cognizant of the emails that will be coming through. Please, please, please. I will reinforce what Commissioner Curry said. Please look at the legislation, provide feedback. Let us know which ones you'd be comfortable advocating with legislators. in your own networks. If you have people who are interested in knowing more about the commission and the media, please share that with us. If you have connections with state leaders that are interested in the debriefings about the final report, please let us know. And with that, we will meet again next month, scheduled for February 9th. Until then, be safe, keep your mind right, keep your spirit right, and we'll talk soon. Meeting is adjourned.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.